Okay, this is Chapter 10, Promoting Success for All Students Through Technology. The learning outcomes will be articulate how technology supports the learning of culturally and linguistically diverse students. Explain differentiated instruction. Now, differentiated instruction is part of your lesson plan, so you want to pay attention to that. And the Universal Design for Learning, which is a CAN design, the UDL. Discuss how teachers can use different technologies to create universally designed classrooms. Give some examples of how assistive technology support teachers in reaching all learners, and analyze the uses of technology in a writing process for student writers. We're going to focus on how can technology engage and inspire learning for diverse students. How can teachers implement differentiated instruction? There's that word again. And the UDL into their daily instruction. How can teachers use technology to create universally designed classrooms? And how can assistive technologies be incorporated into instruction to support teaching all learners? And finally, how does technology promote learning success for all writers? Well, when we talk about teaching diverse students and using technology, we're talking about multicultural education, and that can be anything from students with disabilities to English as a second language students and all these other things. So, uh, right now we're going to talk about multicultural education, revealing hidden histories and untold stories. Um, the wealth of content online reveals much rarely included in textbooks. So, what this is saying essentially is you can find a lot more stuff online than you would in a textbook. That's true. You want to create a culturally relevant curriculum, um, and you want to create relevant curriculum and instruction techniques. And technology can allow you to do that because you can go to the internet and get real world content. Um, so, again, there's that real world experience that we try to get. Textbooks can only go so far, and sometimes they are out of date. So, we go to the internet to get real world, real time stories that we can work into our curriculum and instruction. And then expanding teaching methods and approaches. We allow not just students who are from a different culture to work in our culture, but vice versa. Students born in the United States, we want them to look at other cultures as well, and technology can help that. And then connecting classrooms and communities. That's again those webinar type things we talked about previously, and we can communicate with all types of people around the world. Linguistically diverse learners, there are some really good online translation services. Google Translate, for example. Bing does a really good job of translating. Even Facebook does. So there's a lot of good translation, free translation services. And there's a lot of multilingual web resources available in all types of languages. It's really easy to learn a new language nowadays with via the internet. International newspapers and maps available online, and then word origins. And you can find word origins on Wikipedia and other sites. So if you want to find out where the word sticky wicket came from, you would go look that up on Wikipedia and word origins. Differentiated instruction. Now this is going to be on your lesson plan, and I've given you lesson plan resources as available online now on Blackboard, and you'll see something on differentiated instruction. But we'll talk about it briefly here. And differentiated instruction says teachers create different educational experiences to meet specific needs of students. Well, we try to do that to accommodate all students, and there could be different student problems such as readiness, interest, learning profile, and affect, not effect. Um, some of this has to do with learning styles. Some of this has to do with how fast or slow students are, the cultural differences, all these things. So, what we try to do is differentiate instruction to accommodate all learners. And we can, before we had all this technology, that was very difficult to do because you didn't have the internet to help you. You could put a kid on a computer and give them an assignment um, like you can nowadays. So we had to find a happy medium back in the day that would accommodate everybody, the higher functioning learners to the low functioning learners. We had a happy medium. High functioning learners get very bored. Low functioning learners don't understand a lot of the times, so it can get very difficult to find that happy medium. Now, technology can help us with that immensely. So, we like to do different things with technology for different students. And yeah, it takes a little bit more time, but the payoff is much greater. It helps students learn a lot more. So that's what differentiated instruction is about in a nutshell. The UDL, again, this is a curriculum by the authors of this book, and it's just one of many designs for learning. They use the UDL, and it's a good one. There's nothing wrong with it, but there are more out there. And essentially designing curriculum that accommodates broad student needs. And again, that's akin to differentiated instruction. So multiple means of representation, try to give various ways to acquire knowledge, multiple means of expression, provide alternatives for demonstrating knowledge, and that can be through Prezi, through PowerPoint, through a movie, through a number of different technologies. Multiple means of engagement, tap into interest, offer appropriate challenges, increase motivation. That again can be done through the technologies I just mentioned. And flexible goals and strategies increase learning opportunities for all students. So the flexible goal is what you want to strive for. You want to use strategies to do flexible goals. And flexible goals mean differentiated instruction, basically. Roles for technology: minimizing the impact of a disability and maximizing the opportunity to participate in the world. And he, her, said that, and this is where we want to talk about accommodation for special needs students. And those can be all types of different students, from high functioning to low functioning to behavioral problems to physical problems. So it can be anything from autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, all these types of different disabilities that are out there. You're going to have them in your classroom. You're not going to have the severely disabled people, but you're going to have kind of what's called mainstream disabled people, and you have to accommodate them. So we have different ways of accessing regular curriculum, and that's through that's accommodation, but we can also modify, and that special needs students receive less substantive educational experiences. So we don't really want to modify, and I hate to say this, but a lot of teachers will dumb stuff down. It's not a real educational term, but that's the way it is, and we don't want to do that. We have so much wealth on the internet that we can find. We take the time to find relevant things that are on par with everybody else that everybody can learn. So if you have a slow learner, or ADHD or LDHD and all these other things, you can find things to accommodate them. So I prefer accommodation over modification. And it says computers allow for previously impossible implementation of accommodation and universal design for learning. So that's where we use technology to accommodate. Adaptations for the classroom, learning with technology. Well, your classroom is probably going to be designed for you in terms of technology. You're either going to have computers or you're not. You're either going to have some bells and whistles with technology or you're not. Um, you can ask to have that stuff put in. If you don't, hopefully you can get it. But most classrooms nowadays have computers, and some computers, they certainly have a computer for the teacher, and you can do things like show movies, YouTube's, have the students come up and demonstrate things and do things on the computer and things like that. A lot of places have computer labs that all the students go to, but some classrooms have 4, 5, 6 computers in them that students can use. So it changes how the curriculum is delivered. If you don't have a computer at all in your classroom, even at the teacher station, you're going to be doing curriculum different than you would with technology. So we consider the available tools. Low tech, easy, inexpensive changes without digital or electronic materials. Mid tech, substantive shifts in organizational delivery that may include electronic materials. And high tech, changes associated with computers and technological integration. So you may have low, mid, or high. And low, you don't have much. High, you have all the bells and whistles. Basically what this is saying. Word clouds. Now, there's a lot of different ways to support student learning, and one of the fun ways, particularly with the younger grades, is a thing called word clouds, and I'm going to show you that right now. Get this thing in here. Word clouds are these, and you've probably seen these before. And you just put a bunch of words in a generator, and it generates it for you. So, and there's different types, and you're going to do one of these this week, and this is where you want to come back and look. So you're going to pick one of these. I'm not going to tell you which one to pick like I did with the rubric. You pick one that works with you, works for you. So you're going to have to do some discovery learning here. But we can go to Wordy, and you hit create your own, and it says paste in a bunch of text. Now, for this, I want you to, and I'll explain this in the assignment itself, you're going to use something in your content area. And if you're not a teacher, you still have your major, computer science, English, whatever. You're going to paste in at least 60 words. Okay? And I'm going to paste in some words here, just about assistive technology, real quick. And I'm going to hit go, and it makes a word cloud for me. Hello, there it goes. Come on. There it goes. So it gives me different. I can go to randomize, I believe, and it'll give me different types of things I can do with it, and then I can save it by hitting print and copying it into a Word document. I'm going to attempt to make a PDF, may not do it, but I can also do a screen print, put it in a PDF document, and that's what you'll probably have to do. I haven't fooled around with this set. I didn't get that far, but I did get to make the words. So I can make it into a PDF, save as PDF, and hit print and do all that stuff. So, but I'm not going to do that. Then I can just open it in a Word document. Wow, hear that thunder. A little rain here, but it's okay. You guys, I want you to figure this out yourself and put it on your wiki. So that's what you need to do. You have electronic spellers and dictionaries that are out there, handheld calculators, those types of things. So when we get back to supporting student learning, I don't, they put word clouds in there and they're really cool. So I want you to play with them. Assistive technologies to reach diverse learners. There's a lot of stuff out there um, that we can use, and those include um, somebody that has is sight impaired, has trouble seeing. You can get different types of technology that blows up every word, that's so they can read it better. Um, there's just a myriad of different things out there. Um, at FAMU here, we have a place called CEDAR, and can't remember what that acronym stands for, but it's a place where students and faculty go to at FAMU when they have problems with taking a test, reading, writing, um, reading correctly, someone in a wheelchair, anything like that. They go to CEDAR, and you can get assistance there. So, but technology can help with all that, and it's called assistive technology. And I'm going to put up a website about different assistive technologies, and I want you to explore that. So there's speech recognition, text reading software out there that I talked about earlier with the visually impaired. You can read this. And then we're switching gears here to electronic storybooks. And if you don't know what electronic storybook is, they're online storybooks. And there's another one here. You just click it, do electronic storybooks. You can click on these different ones, and here's the little gingerbread man. And this is it turn the page automatically. Go to the second page, and it just reads the different ones for you. Invisible alligators. That's one I was looking at early, and you can see this one has 27 pages, and you just keep hitting next, and you can go to previous, and so forth. So that's what electronic storybooks are all about when we talk about this slide. They're mainly, you can get them online, but they're mainly done through apps. Like, for example, the iPad has iBooks, and you can get all types of electronic books there. So it presents children's literature on the computer, tablet, or smartphone, often with multiple experiences. The advantages, they say, are visual elements create an engaging mood, allows children to self-select assistance, and reading comprehension skills can be improved. Disadvantages, if it's got a game with it, it may override reading process. This is cute animations and sound effects hinder understanding. I'm not buying that. And children may over rely on the computer, and that should be a hyphen. But children are on the computer, so over relying on it is pretty lame, in my opinion. Children are gonna be on the computer the rest of their lives, so over relying on the computer is not in my wheelhouse. So I disagree with those. I disagree with most of those disadvantages. But evaluating them, you should use interactive storybook selectively. There's nothing that beats a good book as well. But you should do it age appropriateness. Is a child able to navigate through it? Well, I've seen 2-year-olds navigate through storybooks before, so there's not a real big problem with that. Clear instructions, independence, process orientation. You should be able to explore and discover. It should have good technical features, and hopefully it's got stuff for teachers in it. So, writing transformation with technology. Students may not enjoy writing because of, well, pressure, lack of confidence, lack of joy, lack of patience, ideas, misdirected evaluation, all these things. And this is akin to plagiarism as well. So there's different ones there too with plagiarism. And they can be, waiting at the last minute, procrastinating, pressure of getting a good grade, so they'll cheat. So, there are a range of tools that help start to finish process for students. And that's something on the web that you need to look at. How to write effective papers, how to write a good paper quick, all types of things like that. Just don't cheat. Because if you do, you will get caught eventually. Finally, process approaches to writing, pre-writing and brainstorming, pre-writing different things with a group of people, having peer reviews, those types of things. Just drafting, just writing. Really don't worry about the spelling, don't worry about anything else, just write, let the flow go. Then you revise, then you edit, and then finally you publish. So all these things can be done with technology. All right, that's it for this chapter. The storm is, if you can hear that in the background, is coming quick, so I've got to get off of here. Bye-bye.